full moon reading for the 23rd of May. Aloha, my wonderful souls, and welcome to the Powercast Podcast for Empath entrepreneurs. My name is May. I'm your cyber witch from next door, and I am an energy coach for empathic entrepreneurs, and I support you in embracing that wonderful gift that you have. Get to know yourself better and really stand in that divine power that you have been given with this beautiful gift. And I'm so excited to bring to you today the reading for this wonderful full moon. Yes, I'm so excited. So for those of you watching, I'll explain a little bit of what's down here. Sorry, for those of you listening in, I'll explain, what we're going to be seeing so that you can, even though you're listening, you can tune into this. And I'll get to that in a second. Before I do so, if you enjoy my readings, please follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast, and if you like, share it with people you like surrounding you that you think would benefit from this episode, from this full moon reading. And if you'd like to go a little bit step further, you can, just come and join me in my newsletter list. I'm still building it up, but that way you will receive information whenever there's something new on my channel. So you'll find the link in the description. And if you want to go a little step further, even more, I always try to find, good things that I'm, programs that I'm standing behind to show you. And I found this wonderful and really amazing course by Joanne Hunter that is called the $1 Million Experiment. I really love it. It's there for you. It's a $25 invest to have the support of a huge community, of a wonderful community to help you. And one of the things that I love is because Joanne Hunter is an empath herself and supports empaths as well. It's amazing how she shows us and teaches us, including the juju, our whole woo-woo part, but also the very, scientific parts coming behind it, and helps us understand the energy of money and abundance more. And it's really beautiful. I've been going through with her on this. And if you'd like to join us, use my link below. That way you can support this podcast as well. And so just, use that from the description that you'll find below. All right. So in any case, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to get started by calling in our energetic support, because that energetic support is here to support us all. And anyone listening in, no matter what timeline you're in, if you're listening to this way later, be confident that your energy is already here. All right. And this is one of the things that I love that my shamanic teacher taught me way long ago when we started, that he always said, especially when you record meetings, calls, rituals or things like that, or like this reading, when you bring in the energy of everybody tuning in, it's their energy being already there with this. So even though you might be tuning in later, or even if you tuned in the first time and then you tuned in back again a couple of days later, your energy is here. And I'm not saying that this is not, in a way, it's your free will to be listening into this. So if you are, be aware that your energy is coming in and will be represented in this reading, because we're calling in all our spiritual guidance that we have, the spirit guides, in heaven, our ancestors and I'm inviting everyone. I'm inviting our spiritual guides, from the heavens, Father Heaven, Mother Earth. I'm calling in all the 4 elements. I'm calling in all the 4 directions. I'm calling in all the angels supporting us. I'm calling in all our spiritual teachers, healers, all of those that support us on a different plane, our power animals, totem animals. Welcome, welcome, welcome here. Thank you for being here, for being part of this circle, of this mini ritual that we're doing for this full moon, to receive the energies that we as empaths should be aware of in the next couple of days, that will help us to understand what's happening, what's going on. May we receive the right words through this cards for you, for all of us tuning in. May we as listeners listen and understand the right words that we need for the next 2 weeks. Aho. So mote it be. Thank you to all of there out there. All right. So let's get started. What we have here, for those of you listening in, so up top here we have one deck that is the message of the full moon. Then on the right hand side we have the message for the next 2 weeks. And then we have here 3 beautiful and down here we have the personal messages. So here's my little coconut button. If on the left side, if this resonates with you, a little coconut button, then these are your personal messages. If my beautiful cinnamon stick resonates with you, then these are your personal messages. And if my wonderful Andean opal resonates with you, then this are your personal messages. Be aware, because if this is your first time, it doesn't have to be just one, because I feel that sometimes it's 2 or even 3 sometimes. So just feel free to do that. And one of the reasons why I don't timestamp these personal messages, below is because I want you all to, to make sure that you also get the message that I give you after I do these personal messages on one hand, and on the other hand is because sometimes, even though, this coconut one, let's say if this coconut one has my personal message and then I listen to the whole thing, and then when we get to the rose opal, there's like one sentence and I'm like, it helps me understand my personal message more, or it gives me an additional one. All right. So I highly recommend, even though, whichever is your personal message, listen to all of them, because you don't know where another thing could be that might help you understand another part as well. And of course, you'll receive the quote that I give every end. I end these readings always with a special quote that have also been, given to me. I don't want to say randomly, but it might feel randomly, but once you hear it, it's like, oh man, that fits so well. All right. So yeah. So let's do that once we get started. All right. So let's do that. Let's get started with the reading. If you need a moment more to, feel into which are your personal ones, you can just pause the audio of the video and then we'll just get started. Let's get started with the message of the full moon. I'm very excited for this one here. And let's see what we got here. So, suffering is a choice. Thank you, dear, wonderful full moon, for this. Suffering is a choice. If you are suffering, start by choosing not to, and then only choose activities that make you happy. I know that some of you are going to go like, May, that's not true. I don't want to suffer. I'm not a sufferer. Why are you saying that I can choose to not suffer? But yeah, remember how we've also talked about how energy follows your attention. So where are you putting your attention on? And if it's on whatever challenge is making you suffer right now, when this card comes up, I know, there's a time to transform things, to heal things, but there's a time to, where it's more important for us to, make the decision. You don't want to suffer anymore. If you set the intention that you want to get out of the suffering, and then if you, like it says here, start choosing activities that help you to come out of it. So do that. One of the things that I teach my clients that come to my program is the emergency, how do we call it? In German, I say emergency suitcase, but we don't want to have a whole suitcase, but like your little emergency box, meaning that whenever you have emergencies like this, like there's something making you suffer because it's, it's keeping you down, it's making you feel horrible. You're not going to be able in that moment to go yippee-yay and everything is glitter and love and light. And it's not. I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to work, right? So what you can do is find things that help you to get into a neutral state. And from there, it might help. So choose activities that make you happy, or at least get to a neutral state. and put those activities in your emergency box. So whenever you feel like, oh my God, I'm feeling very down right now, get one of those activities to help you come up and get into a neutral energy. And with that, that's when you can start doing the healing. All right. We don't want to try to heal something when you're on the floor. It's just not going to help. All right, so decide on this. And this is something from years and years of experience that I have had. Once you decide that you don't want to suffer anymore, it's amazing how the universe starts helping you and giving you ways of how to get out of it. All right. And this is with any challenge that we have. Make the decision for yourself. Choose to get out of it. The moment you choose, even though you don't know how, just choose it first. It's amazing. You're going to see miracles happen. All right. And from our ancestors, we have the Shield Maiden, meaning make plans and focus. Here we go. See, make plans. Choose not to suffer anymore. Make the plans that you want to and focus on those. All right. Bring yourself to focus on the right things. And the second one from our ancestral cards, Wise One, grow within your current situation. See, so whatever's coming here, asking you to choose not to suffer is going to help you to grow within that current situation. So whatever this full moon is bringing to you right now is going to help you to grow and to become like this one, a wise one. I love that. And an affirmation we're getting from the beautiful cards from Gabby Bernstein. When I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear directions, and great wisdom. And I love this. When I connect to the spiritual realm, and this is what we're doing right now, right? Remember how we started all this? We started this reading with inviting all our spiritual guides in, our ancestors, our support system, our energetic support system. And the more you do that, you open the door for these guidances to come down and support you. And last but not least, we have the wonderful Commander Ashtar, call to action. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. And if you want to see a little bit how walk your talk looks like, if you want to watch my last video where I talked about, the solar flares and how I'm walking the talk with you, because, sometimes when something just doesn't feel flowy, just don't do it. And even though everyone else might be expecting it. So ask yourself, what is in your field? Where do you need to walk the talk a little bit stronger than you have for now? All right. Love this very much. Perfect. So this is the message from this wonderful full moon. I'm going to put them here so that we have them for you to watch, for those of you watching, so that you can see them. All right. And for the next 2 weeks, we're going to have these wonderful messages. Let's get started with surrender. Oh, those of you who know me a little longer, I love surrender all the time. It's a very good reminder. So for the next 2 weeks, surrender to your spiritual guidance. Pay attention to the signs of the universe or your spiritual helpers. Surrender, my wonderful one. Surrender into the energy. Surrender. I love this very much. All right, and the next one that we have is the Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. And I love that this is coming after a full moon, because you know how the full moon becomes smaller and smaller. So it's the energy of letting go that will be supported. So when the universe brings us this message of let go of the need to be right, maybe this is a good time to really start practicing it. It will be supported by the spiritual guidance around you. Let go of the need to be right. You don't have to be right. It's okay. We don't have to be right all the time. As long as you stick to your own boundaries. I don't know why this is coming up, but keep that one in mind. All right? I feel that this message is coming through because there might be open discussions about certain things, and we don't always have to be right to be, good in being together with each other. So I don't know if I'm not seeing if it's a partner or if it's friends or family. So this could be in any kind of relationships coming up. We just had, this might be an interesting part, because whole of May has to do a lot with relationships. So this might be, one point to remind you or to even help you keep certain relationships. And I'm not saying that we're supposed to keep relationships that are not good for us, that are toxic, but there are certain things where it's not, it's not important to always be the right one. Interesting. All right, so let's keep that in mind. And the affirmation we're receiving for the next 2 weeks is, I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. I slow down and listen to the guidance that is available to me. I feel like I don't need to say much to this one. Keep it in mind. I slow down and listen to the guidance. Here we are again with the guidance, so that's an important one. And last but not least, Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. All right. Follow your intuition, meaning a double connecting with your guidance, whichever it is. If you like talking to the universe, if you like talking to angels, if you like talking to your spirit guides, to your totem animals, to your power animals, whichever it is, listen to them, follow that intuition, because your intuition is basically them talking to you, or it's your own strength talking to you, or the universe talking to you. And that's the important part, to listen to that. All right. So practice it as often as possible. If you don't feel confident enough to listen to your intuition, this is a little reminder that to really start looking for ways where you can get that support that you need so that you can listen. All right. That's a good one. All right. And let's start with the personal messages here. And we're starting with the coconut one. So if this beautiful coconut button resonated with you, then this is your personal message. And we're getting started with the Druid. Hold the space. I love when this comes up because, of course, it could be other people. Holding space for other people might be necessary for you. But I always like to add, be aware of when you need to hold space for yourself. All right. Because we're going through a very tough time right now for people pleasers, learning to stop pleasing everybody else and to start pleasing yourself. So this might be a call for you to hold space for yourself too. All right. Because that's important too. Remember, how often do you hold space for other people, and how can you do that for yourself? All right. And the next one that we have for you is, when I am grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. All right. A little reminder to bring gratefulness into the equation, to bring that into your daily life, no matter what it looks like. And, I'm a fan of not having to journal every morning at 10 things you are grateful for, and then every evening 10 things that you are grateful for. If you have done this so far and that has worked for you, awesome. Please keep on going. But if not, one of my suggestions is practice being grateful in the moment that you receive gifts. Like yesterday, I was in the garden hanging out with my nieces and I saw a beautiful flower. So I told my niece, these flowers are so beautiful. And I felt grateful in that moment to be able to see, feel, and smell those beautiful flowers. So that meant for me creating a grateful moment, right? Or a couple of days ago, again, I know in my case, it's a lot of my nieces, but like my niece came up running and gave me a big hug. And she just stayed in that hug with me for a while. And I just stayed in that hug with her. And I felt so grateful to have that hug from one of my nieces. So, having that, the more you practice that, the more that of those kind of moments you're going to be calling into your life. And the last card for you, last but not least again, the Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Here you go, my wonderful one. For me, that's a little confirmation of the intuition cards that we had from the general cards. So take this in as a little reminder for yourself to trust in what you know. All right? All right. If this beautiful cinnamon stick resonated with you, then these are your personal messages, and we're getting started for you with the Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. The Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. Whatever's coming down, is there anything, maybe there's a challenge, maybe there's physical challenges. Be open for that healing information and allow yourself for that to come in wherever is necessary, because sometimes, it's classical medicine, sometimes it's, alternative medicine, whichever is calling to you. Be open for that healing information to come in. The next card that we have for you is my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feelings, thoughts. My ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. All right. And I know this is a hard one, but remember about the emergency box that I spoke earlier. Whenever we feel we feel that we need more good feeling thoughts, the more you practice that. Of course, we have bad days where it's harder to do so, and it's okay. But as long as you get yourself on a neutral state, that's going to help you a lot. And if you can, keep this affirmation for yourself to help you get out of, negative moments, negative thoughts, and bring yourself more into positive thoughts. And last but not least, for you, Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. All right. So there's so much you have done. This actually comes up when we're like, maybe you're a little bit like me and have this tendency like, okay, but I need to learn more. I can't get out there. I need to learn more. I need to practice more. I need to do more. And sometimes it's not about learning more. Sometimes it's about integrating whatever you have learned. All right. So do that for yourself. See that as a wonderful message for you for the next 2 weeks to bring that into your being. All right. And if you resonated with my wonderful Andean opal, then these are your personal messages. And we're going to get started with this one for you. It's the Protection Guardian. Drop your shields, my wonderful soul. Drop your shields. I think there's not much more to say. Drop your shields. You are guided. There's so much help and support around you. And maybe it's time. Maybe there is someone around you where it's okay for you to become more vulnerable. All right. So look into that happening around you. And the second card that we have for you is the affirmation, I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. Here you go, my wonderful soul. You are worthy of feeling good. Remember that, please, and keep this affirmation in mind for the next 2 weeks for yourself. Believe that you are worthy of feeling good. I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. The more you say that, even though you might not feel that sentence right now, but the more you're going to be saying it, it's going to help. I remember doing that with one of my clients. I actually challenged her, and she did that every day. I'm worthy because, and then she was supposed to say 3 things that were great that day, or that she did good that day for herself. And that really helped her. So if you want to use this practice for the next 2 weeks, you don't have to make a video of it. It's okay if you just journal it for yourself. I am worthy because, and then write down what were the points where you can say like, wow, those are beautiful things that I did. And the more you make yourself aware of that, that's going to help you step into that worthiness for yourself. All right. And the last card for you is Gaia, Earth Connection, my beautiful soul. Be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. All right. So for you, it's going to be important to stay grounded, to ground yourself to Mother Earth, to be there present with yourself. And I mean, if we're thinking of all the whole solar flares that we've been having in the past couple of weeks, it's not too bad to bring in that energy of grounding every now and then. That's important for us humans to have that. All right. And as always, thank you so much for being here. And, I'd love to hear which of these gave you your biggest aha moment. So please leave them in the comments if you like. And as always, I like to end with this wonderful quote that I already mentioned in the beginning. So I'm going to read it and let you go with that. I hope you have a wonderful week, wonderful time until the next new moon. And until then, my wonderful souls, may you have all the blessings that you need. And and have the strength to let go of whatever needs to be let go of, and the focus to create whatever you want to create. And with the words of Lao Tzu, embrace the power of silence, for in the quiet, energy finds its strength. Embrace the power of silence, for in the quiet, energy finds its strength.